Darwinian theory, particularly its mechanism of natural selection, has been a cornerstone of evolutionary biology. However, it has several philosophical and scientific challenges that make intelligent design, ID, a more compelling framework for understanding the complexity and purpose in nature. Here's a breakdown of the flaws in Darwinian science, philosophy, and thought processes, and how ID provides a better alternative. 1. Lack of direction and purpose. Darwinism. Natural selection is a blind, undirected process. It does not aim for any particular goal or purpose. The idea that complex, functional biological systems arose purely through random mutations and natural selection seems implausible to many, especially considering the intricate nature of molecular machines like the flagellum or DNA. Intelligent design, ID. ID posits that life exhibits features of design that cannot be accounted for by undirected processes. Complex systems exhibit irreducible complexity, meaning they cannot function unless all parts are present, which suggests the work of an intelligent cause, not blind chance. 2. Irreducible complexity. Darwinism. The theory struggles to explain how complex biological systems could evolve step by step. For example, the bacterial flagellum is composed of multiple interacting parts, all of which must be present for the structure to function. Darwinian evolution cannot adequately explain how such systems could gradually evolve through minor modifications without losing functionality. ID. Irreducibly complex systems point toward an intelligent designer because the system needs all its components to function. This is more consistent with the concept of design rather than gradual accumulation of parts through random mutation. 3. Random mutations as the driving force. Darwinism. The theory holds that random mutations, filtered by natural selection, are the primary drivers of evolution. However, this random mechanism seems insufficient to account for the vast complexity of biological organisms. Random mutations more often lead to harmful or neutral changes, making the likelihood of achieving beneficial mutations on a large scale highly improbable. ID. ID proposes that certain features in biology are best explained by an intelligent cause rather than random mutations. Complex, specified information, such as DNA, points toward an intelligence that arranged the biological code with purpose, far beyond the capacity of random processes. 4. The Cambrian explosion problem. Darwinism. The fossil record poses a major problem for Darwinian evolution. During the Cambrian explosion, most major animal phyla appeared suddenly without any apparent evolutionary precursors. Darwinian theory predicts a gradual accumulation of small changes, but the fossil record shows a sudden emergence of complex life forms, which contradicts this slow, step-by-step process. ID. ID argues that the sudden appearance of complex life forms is better explained by an intelligent cause. The abrupt emergence of fully formed organisms is consistent with the idea that a designer introduced these forms of life rather than them evolving gradually over time. 5. Origin of life. Darwinism. Darwin's theory does not explain the origin of life itself. The idea that life could emerge from non-living matter purely through natural processes, abiogenesis, remains speculative and unsupported by empirical evidence. The complexity of even the simplest cell, with its intricate machinery and information coding system, DNA, presents a major challenge for any purely materialistic explanation. ID. ID provides a more plausible framework for the origin of life by positing that the complexity of biological systems, even at the molecular level, is evidence of intentional design. The information in DNA resembles a coded language, which points to an intelligent source rather than blind natural processes. 6. Philosophical naturalism. Darwinism. Darwinian evolution is deeply tied to philosophical naturalism. the belief that everything can be explained by natural causes without recourse to a designer. This philosophical stance often leads to a dismissal of evidence for design, not based on the evidence itself, but on a commitment to materialism. ID. ID allows for the possibility of both natural and intelligent causes. It does not limit explanations to purely material processes, allowing for a more open exploration of all potential causes, including design. This approach is more scientific because it follows the evidence rather than adhering to a strict materialist philosophy. 7. Morality and ethics. Darwinism. The implications of Darwinian evolution for morality are troubling. If humans are just the result of random processes with no purpose or meaning, it becomes difficult to ground objective moral values. Natural selection promotes survival, not ethical behavior, which can lead to a nihilistic view of human existence. ID. ID provides a framework where life has inherent purpose and value. If life is designed by an intelligent creator, then humans have intrinsic worth and moral obligations that stem from this design. This allows for objective morality, grounded in the nature of the designer. 8. Inadequate explanation of consciousness. Darwinism. Darwinian evolution struggles to explain the origin of human consciousness. Consciousness, self-awareness, and abstract thought do not provide any obvious survival advantage, making it difficult to explain how these traits could have evolved solely through natural selection. ID. ID offers a more plausible explanation for consciousness, suggesting that it is part of the design by an intelligent creator. Consciousness is not just a byproduct of physical processes, but a purposeful aspect of human beings, reflecting the nature of the designer. 9. Predictive failures. Darwinism. While natural selection can explain some aspects of variation within species, it has failed to make accurate predictions about major evolutionary transitions. Many of the expected missing links remain absent from the fossil record, and Darwinism has struggled to account for certain biological phenomena like altruism and human creativity. ID. ID does not rely on speculative predictions about random mutations or gradual change. Instead, it focuses on the presence of complex and functional systems, which are hallmarks of design. The predictions made by ID are based on the detection of design principles rather than the speculative outcomes of random processes. 10. Explanatory scope. Darwinism. Darwinian evolution offers limited explanatory power when it comes to certain aspects of biology, such as the origin of complex biological information, the fine-tuning of the universe for life, or the intricate balance of ecosystems. It explains minor adaptations, but struggles with macroevolutionary changes. ID. ID has broader explanatory power, accounting for the origin of information, the fine-tuning of the universe, and the presence of complex systems in biology. By recognizing the role of intelligence, ID provides a framework that can explain both small-scale adaptations and the origin of complex, well-ordered systems. In summary, Darwinism, while useful for understanding some aspects of biological change, falls short in explaining the complexity and purpose inherent in life. Intelligent design provides a more comprehensive and plausible explanation, grounded in the recognition of an intelligent cause behind the intricacies of biology and the universe.